This is Anime Shovel Episode 5, recorded on April 29th, 2012. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Anime Shovel Podcast. As always, my name is Alex K, the head host, editor, and stuff of this show. This is once again the podcast where us anime-loving fans discuss the hot anime that's trending at the moment, expressing tons of different views and opinions, because this is tons of fun and we dig anime. So last episode, episode 4, we went over the different new animes that have started airing for the spring 2012 season, and man, was that a long show, but I hope it was very informative. And so it's been a couple of weeks, but most of us are on different pacing. Not all of us have watched all the new stuff, and we couldn't really come to a conclusion on which anime to talk about just yet. So we're gonna push that aside for now and talk about a pretty popular anime that aired a while back. But it's still quite popular, which is the To Aru Majutsu no Index, or a certain magical index, along with its partner anime, To Aru Kagaku no Railgun, or the certain scientific railgun. So index and railgun to be short. And that is what we go over. We do go over a little bit of the new stuff, what we thought of the different anime that have started airing, and our opinions on certain ones that we've actually been seeing, but our main focus is Index and Railgun for this episode, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello everybody, welcome back to Anime Shovel Podcast, episode 5. My name is Alex. John, too.
Oh yeah, it's my turn. Alright, and yeah, like you said, my name's John, and yep.
My name is Mage.
Cool.
I'm Blacklight.
And I'm Cerberus.
Alright, welcome back all of you to episode 5. How's everyone doing?
Same old,
good.
same old.
Been watching the new stuff that's been airing lately?
Yeah, recently watching Tasugare Otome X Amnesia, and I'm pretty much wishing that I get haunted by a hot ghost like that.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of hype over that. I've only seen the first episode, but
Yeah. Very rich skin color. Kind of reminds me of Haganai.
Yeah. How about you guys? Anything in particular that has been eye-catching for you guys?
I dropped some anime because it was just too weird for me.
Alright. Which ones?
National Kanjo X was not my stuff, but not my cup of tea.
Actually, I on the other hand just watched the first episode of National Kanjo X, and it was really interesting for me. I mean, not just the story, but the different parts of the production also. I guess I'll say it now. The main thing that kind of ran shivers down my spine is the voice actor for the girl. She sounds kind of amateurish, but that sort of makes her sound like a normal Japanese girl, and it's some voice that you would hear just out anywhere. So it kind of was cool and creepy at the same time for me. But I still have to watch a couple more episodes of that. Sorry, I cut you off. What you were saying?
I was just saying that was not my cup of tea, but yeah, as you say, it's indeed just like you can hear someone just talking around on the street. Let's see, what else did I drop? Well, pretty much didn't drop it, but I haven't watched anything else since last show.
Alright, cool. Let's see. I actually watched the Shining Hearts Shiawas no Pan, the bread baking anime that we sort of went over last episode, yeah. And I went in expecting it to be extremely boring, so I think I set my standards so low that it ended up being good for me. I'm oh yeah, there's actually some plot to it, and the characters are interesting, and it's not as boring as I thought it would be, so...
Yeah.
But I guess that
episode really got some action into it. Some strange action, but it was action.
And I recognize a lot of my favorite voice actors too, so that was good.
Yeah. When it comes to anime, if you you should try your best to just stay unbiased, neutral, and never get overhyped like Vocaloids and all that.
Sure that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. It's like, Vocaloids. Everyone is so hyped about it. Oh, why are we so hyped about it? There's no anime. There's no manga. Why? I don't know. Yeah.
This is popular.
Yeah, it just is.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
If there was like some sort of apocalypse, like a zombie apocalypse, I think anything that could be worse than that is a Vocaloid apocalypse.
Well,
Yeah.
the images for that already exist. All those Lavos war images of Miku.
Yeah.
It's like Miku's leading the army of Vocaloids to world damnation.
Somehow it'll involve Black Rock Shooter as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, strangely enough.
I remember that some blogger, right? That some Chinese blogger in China actually used Miku as an imperial, spokesperson. So she's like dressed all red with the Chinese flag and everything. It's like with her microphone. No, what do you call it? Microphone? A stereophone?
Megaphone.
Yeah, that
yeah.
megaphone. Yeah, and she was like promoting China. I was like, since when did that happen? It's like,
No, it's
Yeah.
become a worldwide phenomenon, so...
yeah.
If the Vocaloid cosplayers would at least look somewhat like the characters, it would be nice.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I've seen so many Vocaloid cosplays running around the town. I mean, they are gathering each Saturday in the next city for some cosplay photo shooting, and I always try to look the other way. I don't want to see them.
No, I swear that Vocaloids, right? You don't need to put them into cosplay. They can just be called Vocaloid and not cosplay because this is so
Oh.
many of them.
just in its own category.
Yeah, in its own category. Say, would you like to Vocaloid with me? It's like, yeah, sure, this Saturday, right? Photo shoot. That kind of thing.
Yeah, they're probably gonna end up being some own word like Voca play or something. Hey, let's Voca play.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, before we get into our big portion of the anime, John wasn't here for the last episode, so I just want to ask, have you been watching Zetman like you were hyping about to me?
My expectations of the anime has gone down.
That's exactly what I thought you'd say.
Yeah, no,
Is
they're
it like
rushing
the,
it.
Okay, yeah, the pacing.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the first episode, though?
The first episode was a very good jump start, but then I realized that they're pushing the limits with every single episode, and I was like, nah, I don't think it'll happen. I mean, you'll get the story, but nah. Read the manga.
Yeah, I've only seen the first 2 episodes so far. I thought the first episode was just pretty amazing.
Yeah,
And I think they've put a lot of effort into making it amazing because it was the first episode, of course, to draw people
Yeah.
in. But I don't know, the second episode really was pretty lackluster compared to it.
Zetman, the anime, it's very fast paced that you could probably like get diabetes within 22 minutes.
Right.
It's that fast paced. Yeah. That's how fast they're rushing the manga. Well, if they'll they are converting it to an anime, so yeah, just too fast paced.
Do you notice like it's a little bit more censored than the manga? I presume from the manga postings I've seen compared with the anime. I'm like already there,
Yeah, I'm actually quite amazed with the artist that originally started Zetman, the manga, because he used to be like, so lovey-dovey, and everyone's like, he got the hot teenage girls and the handsome guys.
Why don't you tell us
Yeah.
which mangas he actually has written before? Was it before Zetman?
Yeah, before Zetman, because let's see, when he was still in Japan and still drawing, living his dreams, being a mangaka, pretty much similar to Bakuman. He also drew, Eyes, which is most recent before Zetman, I with double apostrophe S.
Yep.
Yeah. Then we have Video Girl I. Then we also have M, which was pretty much more for the mature crowd. Wasn't that popular, but it still happened. And we have Shadow Lady, which was his first big hit and got licensed by an American comic company. I think it was Dark Horse. So yeah. Then from then onwards, he's a Batman fan. So if you notice, sometimes when you read his manga, right, you'll see Batman cameo appearances out of nowhere, but not the real Batman, as in baseball bat, Batman. And instead of bat ears, it has baseball bat for ears. So it's like, I think I know what he's trying to reference. Then, ever since he came back, he tried to copy, the grim version of Tim Burton's Batman. So ever since then, his romance manga has turned darker, more emotional, involves some death. But in Z-Man, more death than usual. And he actually turns to, instead of just focusing on emotional drama and, romance with a happy ending, he turns to vigilante, where you actually have to dispose of your enemies in a more realistic way and everything. Yeah, so that's what Z-Man is.
Yeah, so
and still have the romance and the emotional, and the drama in between. Yeah.
So his style has taken a roller coaster ride. Contrast.
Yeah, so
a lot of contrast.
Yeah, it's like like 10 years ago, he was like, Kira, I so sparkly, lovey-dovey mangas, and suddenly, I am Batman, swear to me. And what the hell just happened? Yeah, it's like, opposite direction.
Yeah, I think you summed it up pretty well.
Yeah. So, yeah. But Z-Man is still not finished in the manga. Yeah. So, yeah.
Still going on.
Yeah. Okay. But this author is pretty much like Helsing. He releases his issues really slow. So it's like, oh, okay. But worth the wait. Okay, I'm done now.
Sorry.
Cut. Yeah.
Alright, so why don't we get into our main subject for tonight? What were we going to talk about?
I thought it was Railgun, wasn't it?
Index and Railgun.
Yeah.
So this becomes a certain anime shovel podcast.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we have
totally
to
that as the title.
So we got to analyze the anime and find out how many different colored frog Kero panties does Biribiri wear and all that.
Oh wow, we're gonna go that detailed?
How do I know? I'm asking you guys. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that is the subject for tonight. Railgun or Index or Certain Magical whatever. Alright,
Yep.
I'm just really wondering when more of the anime is gonna come out.
I'm not sure if there's anything more coming out. I mean, the stories both kind of ended. I mean, Railgun really just was 24 episodes.
Yeah, they kind of left us at a cliffhanger with what's his name, Accelerator's group, and cliffhanger, and then it just ends like that. I'm not sure if it ends, but yeah, I can pretty much see it turning into an Accelerator Secret Squad anime instead of Railgun.
I mean,
is that Index? I think I'm mistaken. That's Index 2, right?
Yeah, that's Index 2.
Yeah. Railgun, I would say they have enough story to make a second season, but Index 2 is turning into Accelerator. Yeah,
it kind of is.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they going to do with all the Misaka Imotos? I mean, there are still...
How many? They have a bigger purpose in Index than Railgun.
They don't even show up in Railgun.
Oh, they do. A few scenes. Yeah, just a few scenes. Not all of them. Just 3 of them.
But Railgun is overall a side story.
Yeah, kinda. It's a story in its own with the characters from Index with the focus on Misaka and Kuroko.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why Index and Toma show up once in a while.
Yeah. I'm in despair. Oh wait, that's different anime. What does always say? I'm unlucky. No, I'm very unfortunate. Yeah, that's what he usually says. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm amazed that he can actually survive feeding Index, and he has barely any allowance. If you remember the first episode, right? He could barely feed himself, and all he had was like a bread for lunch.
Yeah.
Not even a loaf, man. Just like, I don't know, 100 yen bread. That's it. And then for the whole 2 seasons, he can survive and still go through Railgun and still feed Index. I'm amazed that he's still alive. I assumed that he would die of hunger already.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems he's better off since the beginning, but
Yeah.
like Blacklight says, the novel actually, I've went to the bookstore and there's like a hella ton more novels than where the anime has gone to. So I know that there's a ton more content out there to be made into manga or anime form.
Yep. I would say I'm pretty much siding more towards Railgun because I want to know what happens to Railgun. I find it much more interesting, comedy and all that. And of course the boxers, fan service and all that. Yeah, it's the next stage, it's the next stage of fanatism. It's like, it's no longer about Shima Pants, it's about boxers now. That's the current. And it has to be boxes with Carol logos, with frog logos.
Yeah. But the biker shorts, they are quite popular in the recent anime as well.
Yeah.
Like in Bakemonogatari,
Yep.
Karen has some. Also, some of the older ones have them. Like Pretty Cure.
It's spreading like a virus.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always something spreading. Some fetish is always there.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as Kuroko's underwear doesn't become a meme, everything will be fine.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's like, okay, if you think about it, ever since Lucky Star, where a flat chest is a status symbol, Kuroko has been heavily advertising that so-called, quote, motto, ever since then. And
Yeah.
So every time you
Pattern
think
cool.
flat chest now, it's just Kuroko. That's it. Okay, unless you can name another girl recently that has a flat chest, as flat as Kuroko or Konata.
The girl from Achikochi is also flat.
but
Oh yeah, that's her. But how do you know? It's drawn that way. It's drawn that way that, portions could be out of place. She could be in, I don't know, an A cup or B cup. Yeah.
I mean,
but in Lucky Star, she self-declares a flat chest, beating her chest. A flat chest is status symbol. You know it's a flat chest right after that.
Right, I mean, for Kuroko, it's like, it's not, well, it's also, of course, about her flat chest and how blatantly she shows it off with her swimsuit and stuff. But I guess, like, her character personality really, like, is blatantly out there that it leaves an impression to anyone that has seen her.
Yeah.
So
How can you not see her?
It's sort of hard to compare her to any other character.
Yeah.
Like how you were saying, how Index 2 is sort of heading towards this accelerator.
Yeah, accelerator
arc.
arc.
I think I've actually, I'm not sure 100%, but I think I've seen a book which is like a certain scientific accelerator or something. So like a book just about him.
Yeah, because
I think I'm not sure.
Yeah, because see, if you think about it, you see, in Index / Railgun or whatever, they've already pretty much covered the secret societies of the church and everything, which is like the magicians and all that, and we do know that the city itself have their own protection force and all that, but we still do not know who the real enemy is. That the guy that's hanging upside down in a tube, and yeah. So, I'm gonna assume that maybe they'll elaborate on that in a new season or something. Because we have been distracted, by Freely, Biribiri,
so
Bikini
much.
fan service, and Naked Kuroko, and then Toma getting bit we're forgetting something. We're forgetting that there is actually a villain in that series.
Yeah, kinda.
Okay, it's like, okay, look, serious plot is coming in Index. The serious plot is happening right now. We have killer nuns, and what happens? We have naked nuns bathing service scenes. And then we forget about the villain again. Then we get back to the city, and suddenly we see, there's a street fight. This gang has technology that's been financed and developed by this secret organization. And suddenly we are reminded, we are given a scene about drinking milk makes your breasts look big. That girl in the red coat and all that. And then we get distracted again. And then we forget that's an actual villain. Yeah.
All these powers and all these just new enemies or rivals just keep popping up, and I don't know. It's really a zigzagging story.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the first villain in Index are the two other members of the church that are going to protect Index. Woohoo!
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they become associates with Toma and Index and help at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Then they have the vampire as the next enemy, and you get another associate with the four of them. That Miko with the magic stick.
Yeah. Yeah.
My magic wand, and I hide it in my breasts, and it's an electroshocker. Yes.
Yeah.
Great. And then season 2 is kind of more like, okay, there's Accelerator and all the Emotos, and they are trying to make him a level 6, which doesn't work in the end because there's someone that's against him, and
That was season 1, right?
no, it's season 2.
No. Was it season 2?
The fight between
what are they called? The sisters happened in season 1, right?
no, the Emotos are mostly in season 2.
Huh.
Well, yeah, he killed a lot. Well, it was shown in season 1, but it happened again in season 2. Well, it's not like Accelerator has any other storyline in there besides having a small little lolly yelling at him all the time.
I mean, there's
Wait,
20,000 Emotos, 20,001 if you're exact. So
I thought the sisters were the first arc, and then second arc was mostly Accelerator and Last Order.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Is that
kind
right?
of.
Yeah. Because I think it was the end of season 1, then he lost his abilities, and then because he lost his abilities, he cannot get rid of Last Order, so he tends to soften up.
Right.
And then he stopped killing Emotos. And yeah.
From what I remember, it was Toma and Accelerator fought at the end of season 1.
Yeah. I was pretty much raging at season 2 because, you see, Index bumps into Accelerator and doesn't bump into Toma. Okay, fine, whatever. Then suddenly Toma bumps into Last Order and doesn't bump into Accelerator.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Then suddenly these two have to work together.
And they're talking to each other on the phone, and they don't know who each other is.
Yes,
Even
it's
though
frustrating.
they've punched each other out in the first season.
Yeah. It's like, it's like that classic storyline where you're the ultimate enemy, the ultimate rival, and suddenly you become friends. And, well, they're not exactly friends. I just want to see them beat each other up, really.
Yeah.
Then become friends later, yeah.
Yeah, I think we were all waiting for that moment where they actually run into each other, and they go, "Oh my God, it's you!" But it never happened.
You'll just start the fight.
But I mean, Toma had proven that his ability is stronger than Accelerator's, and he lost his ability to the bullet to the head anyway, mostly. So his experiment was over.
Yeah.
So there's no real reason for them to fight any longer.
Well, yeah. But we want them to run into each other anyways.
Yeah, because they have an old score.
That's a different
settle.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have an old score to settle. Ever since the first time they fought, they haven't really finished that fight, really.
Neither has the fight between Toma and Misaka.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah,
I don't think
no,
that fight
will
is
never, that
ever-
will never end.
Yeah, that will never end.
Yeah, Misaka chasing after Toma is how their relationship happens. You know, it's like classic tsundere. The more he wants to kill him, the longer they'll stay together as a, quotes, in quotes, couple. Well, that's what Misaka thinks. Well, yeah.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure like Misaka's intention has like completely took a 180.
Yeah.
Or 180.
She thinks it's working. She's happy with it. Toma, well, how unfortunate for him. Yeah.
well, Misaka is actually in two ways the definition of tsundere, because one is, well, she can't admit that she actually likes Toma, and the other one is, I mean, she's an electric user. Huh?
Yes.
Tsundere, thunder.
Yes. Yeah, Sundara. Thunder.
She's a thunderer.
I mean, if there was a new series, I would say just 3 points. I want to see the actual villain, and I want to see Misaka finally getting, to express herself, and Accelerator and Toma get it on and finish it. Manly business. Finish it, man. Yeah.
I think Misaka will never admit her feelings. Never ever.
Yeah. But to me, it's a bonus because
Yeah.
every time she tries to confess herself, I just love it how Kuroko just flying kicks out of nowhere and nearly, dislocates Toma's spine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One other point I would want, even though probably nobody cares, is about Index herself. Since she really hasn't had all that much screen time, it's all these other characters since the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, I want her to actually play a part. I mean, it's called freaking Towaru Majutsu no Index for a reason. I mean, she's only like really has been a support character in some couple situations, but she's not really the main focus anymore.
It's funny, the series was called Index and she becomes a support character. And the support character called Misaka ends up being more popular than the main character and then has her own series. It's like, I would want to see the face of the author when he first wrote that. He would go like, what the hell? It's like, how did that happen? I wanted to write about Index. The next thing I know, the fans all just love this character that I'm completely dense about. Yeah. It's like it backfired, 180 on him. It's not like, Love Hina where the author creates a harem of different girls and, every girl has a storyline. But you can clearly see that he tried to focus on Index and then it backfired. And it's like, huh? What happened? Yeah.
Yeah, the only screen time she really gets is like biting Toma's head.
Yes, at the ending, that's it. And makes his injury worse, It's like, Toma, are you alright? And it's like, "Grah, bye."
I mean, her story arc ended mostly with her on the focus when Toma broke the seal
Yeah, on her garment.
that released her. Yeah. No, not the garment. In her mouth, the one that keeps her forgetting every 2 years or so.
Yeah.
So that's when Towaru Majutsu no Index became kind of Towaru Toma.
Yeah.
Towaru Majutsu no Imagine Breaker.
Yeah.
Towaru no level 0.
Yeah.
I mean, there's this one picture somewhere, I don't know where right now, where all the different characters, and even some that didn't make it into the anime, are shown with their power levels. I'm glad none of their level is above 9,000.
Above 5, maybe.
Actually, Toma is a level 6.
What?
Yeah, Toma is a level 6 because his power is the power of God. He can just erase every other power.
Yeah.
I guess technically, yeah, you want to think it that way.
I think that was mentioned in the crazy ear stabbing nuns arc. Yeah. Yeah, they did mention that he had like, the hand of God or something. Oh, I'm not sure what they said, but it was in that episode where the nuns were all riding on their frozen ice boats and everything.
Maybe I can find that picture again.
Okay.
One thing that's bugged me from the beginning is how Toma like loses his memories in the beginning. And like I've always wondered if he's ever going to get his memories back somehow.
I mean,
think that's gonna
he
happen
didn't.
because
He
the
didn't
brain
really.
cells are destroyed.
Toma didn't try to do what he said he had done to Index, right? I mean, he said he just touched his head with his hand and everything went back to normal, but he never... it wasn't shown that he ever tried that. Maybe it would have worked.
No, it didn't work because his brain cells were destroyed. That's what they said in the series. At least I remember.
Mm.
That he just got his letter from the fire room guy that told him this happened. And then he decided, okay, this is how I'm going to play my cards and tell Index.
In theory, that should work because in the beginning there was some sort of magic that caused his memory loss, right?
Yeah, but magic
it
just
was-
destroyed his brain cells. So if the brain cells are destroyed, his hand cannot restore his brain cells.
Oh, I guess you never know if it can undo the effects, but as long as he doesn't try, that'll always be a mystery, I guess.
And that's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm like expecting some kind of revelation where he gets his memories back and was like forgetting something extremely important or something. But I don't know, maybe that's thinking too much into it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's what I'm hoping, at least. I always think
So
like
what,
whenever there's a memory loss in a story that it doesn't come without a cost later in the story, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that, that series, what's it called? Air or Canon? No. Air. What's that drama series? The dude forgets his memories? No, wait, hold on. Was it the dude or was it the girl?
Yeah?
Uh,
Probably Air, because that
yeah, it's Air.
It's not canon.
Yeah, it came with a price. All Our Tears. Tears of the world, of every single person watching that show. Freaking memory loss and animes. The only time we're happy about memory loss is if the person happens to be like some psychotic killer or some yandere, and that's it. We'll be happy.
Yeah, boom. Now he's a good guy now.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else was there?
I mean, there's the whole, what's it called? That strange sound file that made them all connect.
Are we
the
going
power,
back into
power upper.
Railgun?
Level upper. Yeah.
That was a pretty cool arc, actually. For
Yeah.
the... what was it? Crap.
What, the level uppers, the MP3 players?
The God,
Yeah,
I can't
the level
even
up.
remember the names of characters. Jeez, what's wrong with me?
Well, the one that tried it from the four main girls
Saturn.
was Certain.
Saturn,
Right.
Riharu. Yeah, Skull Flipper girl.
Yeah.
Say, oh, look,
Wait,
Riharu. flip.
Riharu
I was
is
like,
what,
yay.
level 1?
Uihadu! And up goes the skirt.
Yeah.
Riharu is level 1, and Saturn doesn't have powers, right?
Yeah, she's
has
level
powers.
seven.
Yeah. She's
No, she
what
gets
do?
the
Well,
she
yeah,
gets
I
the
mean,
power
before
with the level upper.
before level upper.
Yeah, she was.
For the level
nothing.
upper, she's at level 0. And even with the level upper, she just becomes
Okay.
level 1 before she faints and falls into
Yeah.
the coma.
Alright, so...
But I mean, you have to develop the power anyway, so it's just reasonable that you start with a level 1 and not like, ooh, I'm a level 6 or something.
Alright, so people without any power is level 0.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Or I think even if the power is too weak to do anything with it, so Uiharu's power is level 1. But we only get to know it one time.
Yeah, when she warms up food.
No, she doesn't. No, it doesn't warm up food. It
Oh, it
keeps the
stops
temperature of things.
Yeah, it can keep a constant temperature.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just kind of assumed that she could control a certain area of space and it stays the same, like a time stopper. But okay, so it's keeping temperature. Okay, yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
handy if you're drinking tea.
Yeah, sometimes it
Kinda.
can be a very, very good chill.
Yeah, forever chilled.
I mean,
I wonder how that would
some
develop.
of the... Yeah, that's a question. Is there any development to it, right? Could there
No,
be
she
any
did-
development?
Well, some of them train, like Misaka, but some of them just stay passive, like Saturn and Uiharu. They just wait for their powers to grow because they're not the training type, and that's it. I mean, come on, you saw those two in freaking school sports. They barely survived. Well, Saturn would be motivated. If Uiharu was standing in front, then maybe yes, she would have beaten the race. But nah, she's not a trainer kind of person. She can't train.
No, Saturn was discouraged to try to develop something because
Of the level
she was
upper.
determined no, before the level upper, because she was a level 0. She was determined level 0. I mean, there are these tests where they determine what kind of level the people have. So, and they said, okay, sorry, you don't have any power, so why would she try to train them anyway? If they say you don't have a potential to gain any kind of power, don't try.
Okay.
Well, she really
Well-
wanted that power, so that's why.
Yeah.
Even with the
Yeah.
risks.
I mean, I first thought that Uiharu's power would have anything to do with the flowers on her head.
Yeah.
It only exists in the series. Well, to us, that is.
There are no flowers on her head. Remember?
Yeah, that.
There are none. What are you talking
Only the
about?
anime viewers. Only the anime viewers can see it. Yeah,
And the other characters.
yeah. They're trying to troll us real bad. That's why.
In one of the episodes, some
Yeah,
girl
it's like-
goes up to her like, "Oh, nice flaps in the head.
What are you
I
talking
It's
about?
like-
like them." What?
Huh?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. That episode pretty much confirmed it, because if you notice how flowers, no one actually pays attention. No one touches them or takes them off at all. Yeah.
It's not quite right. I mean, in the anime, no one really notices. That's correct.
Yeah.
Except for those girls in the
Yeah.
school that making the flower arrangements.
Yup.
But there's a short manga that comes with a special limited edition box for the Dakimakura, where she actually gets asked by Misaka what those flowers are for. Then she whips out a little straw and sucks on the flowers like a hummingbird.
Is that canon?
It's just a dream from Misaka, so...
Oh. Then it's null and void.
But that at least means she noticed the flowers, so...
True, yeah.
I mean, maybe most of the people just say, oh, that's looking nice and fits her and whatever. So they don't pay much attention to it.
Oh, I want to see this. Oh god.
Huh?
The picture. But her flowers
So,
have
how
nothing
after the
to
level?
her flowers have nothing to do with her.
Well, she leveled up.
Like Bulbasaur
yeah.
becoming... Okay.
Venusaur, yeah.
So yeah, this picture that we're looking at is there's her head is pretty much a huge bush of flowers now.
Yeah.
So
The flower afro.
yeah, it's pretty much an afro made out of flowers. I'm
But
trying to think
speaking of the level upper, the developing scientist, and I forgot her name. It must pay quite well to be a scientist there. I mean, she's driving a Lamborghini Gallardo, so they are not quite that cheap, especially not in Japan.
No.
they're in the city of science, so
Yes.
Pay is good. Obviously.
I'm talking about Kiyama Harumi, right?
Yes.
Who's driving the Lambo. Or no?
Where's this goddamn picture?
God, this Wikipedia entry is
Ah.
so big.
Found it. Da-da-da. Okay, there's supposedly one character that is more powerful than Toma. But I guess that character only shows up in the novel. Oh, let's see. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
What? How is that possible?
I don't know. But that character, at least in this tiny image, has a halo above his head. Or her head, I don't know.
Yeah. The Alpha to his Omega. Yeah.
The character is called Iwas.
Okay.
Oh wow, this is a entire diagram of the
Of all the characters with all their powers.
power hierarchy, huh?
Yeah.
This is huge.
Wow, that's
Let it
huge.
load.
It's taking a long. Yeah.
Same.
It's the first time I've actually seen an image and it's like, huh, why is it taking so long to load? It's like, holy crap, that's huge.
Yeah, it's a huge image,
I
but I
must
mean,
say.
it has to be this huge to get all of it.
So there are girls with halos. There are characters with halos on them. Angel. Wait, hold on. Accelerators and Angel too. Okay.
He becomes an angel later in the series.
Supposedly,
Yeah.
I think it's from the novel.
Yeah. Further into
Well,
the
everything's from the
development.
novel, but
I mean, there's also Index as level 5, kind of angel-like. Johan's pen mode.
she has a lot of modes. Just have to chant a little bit.
Wow, that's a lot of characters.
His.
They're holding on us when it comes to the anime.
And yeah, this is what I was saying. There's like so many volume. I think there's at least I don't know 5, at least 5 volumes that I know there is more content of. There's probably a lot more than 5, but how many are there? Let me just check the wiki.
The Railgun novels are 22 volumes.
All right.
For
Yeah.
the... Oh wait, the Index is 22 volumes.
All right.
Plus 3 volumes of Shinyaku to Automated to the Index. That came out last year. And then some 3 more bonus novels. I mean, it started in 2004, so kind of makes sense that they have quite a story there.
Yeah, they've only chipped like a small percentage of it with anime so far. So there is a
So far.
ton ahead. So it's been a while. I would appreciate a new season.
A new season.
Just
After
saying.
looking at this, I think they need 3 more.
Oh, they gotta start
After looking
somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's gonna be at least till like season 5 or 6, possibly, depending on how long these seasons are.
I'm not
Wow.
quite sure. The wiki
Yeah.
says that episodes 23, no, episode 17 to 23 is volume 13 of the novel. So,
Oh, so a little past halfway.
yeah.
Or maybe
basically.
just about halfway.
Yeah, when I watched Index and Railgun, I was just assuming that there were 3 factions, but after looking at this map, it just looks like there's just 2 factions now. I mean, it's like, I was assuming that, okay, we have Academy City and they have their science users, then we have the infiltrators that come into the city that are magic users, and then we get introduced to the freaking Psycho Nun Church. But end of the day, after looking at this, it's just, well, the church are the magic users, and it's only magic versus science, and that's it. And Toma, somewhere in between. Unfortunate for him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the unlucky one, always.
Yes. Always. Yes. Okay.
Normal Index is at the bottom.
Yes. Her ability just to eat food. And for some reason ends up being friends with everyone.
I mean, she's kind of the adorable little girl that is friendly to everyone and has no clue about the world whatsoever.
Yeah,
so
that picture that was, picture that was just linked. That teacher, that lolly teacher, I swear that she is like the complete opposite of Nagi from Negima. Negi from Negima. It's like Shota teacher, and she's like lolly teacher.
The other side.
Yes, the other side.
That one, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I remember the pink girl teacher.
Yeah, the one that she has to put bricks on her foot pedals when she drives the car, which kind of makes it still pointless because when she sits in it, she still can't see over the dashboard.
Yeah, she's not even
more like
visible from the side.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that the car has really impressive GPS. That's it. You don't even need to look at the road. You just drive.
Maybe. I mean, it's the city of science. It's not like the cars nowadays couldn't do that as well. I mean, you can already buy cars with infrared sensors in the front, and they brake automatically if there's a car in front of you, and accelerate when the gap becomes bigger again. So it's
they
not
even
that
just
far
released
from
the Google car into normal roads, and it just drove off perfectly.
Yeah.
I had the automobile.
Yeah. In German, or in France, somewhere there was someone making a car that would be a taxi. You just take out your iPad, go to its app, and order a taxi, and the car comes, picks you up, and you say where you're gonna go. Easy peasy.
Yeah, Top Gear made a report on that automobile by Google, saying that there's no driver whatsoever, so nothing can go wrong until some bloke comes around and says, "Hey, I can fix that myself," and basically makes it crash at some point. I mean, it will happen someday.
Yeah.
And I guess Japan will be the first country to have those cars that drive themselves.
Quite possible.
Yeah, you couldn't use them in Norway. You got bad roads. You wouldn't get anywhere.
Yeah, it has to be a country that has a really developed, road system. I mean, it's like, if you guys came to my country, Malaysia, it's like freaking impossible to drive with GPS because the city is like a spider web. The roads are not aligned. They have a, different arcs and everything. It's crazy. Yeah. Needs a more systematic country for that to work. Yeah. Okay, so we're running out of index theories and index ideas.
I'm still looking at this diagram. There's just so many characters.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some characters have different designs from the anime, I think.
And we didn't talk about the second half of Railgun yet, right? And the first half ended with the AIM burst,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and then there was the second half with that crazy lady that was the first experiment for this experimental level 6 character.
Oh, the lady in the mecha. The lady in the mecha
Yeah.
suit. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when I saw her the first time in the opening, I just thought, okay, that woman will cause problems.
That's it.
No
It's
way.
because she's wearing a suit and then she's wearing glasses, and by default that means evil. Serious character with glasses and a business suit is evil.
And she's eating Smarties.
Yeah, some sort of sweet all the time.
That
Skittles,
is actually,
Smarties, or whatever.
Back in the 90s, Smarties were really sold in those little tubes that she had.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ah,
In these,
I see.
in these round tubes. So it's really just that.
Ah. So that pretty much shows how old she is. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Or how her candy is.
Yeah.
That's
I just kind
reason
I
why she's so crazy.
And I just kind of assumed that this candy addiction existed only in Death Note to younger generation characters, but looks like, yeah, age does not apply to this addiction.
I mean, they took that and put it into the plot.
Hmm.
Because, I mean, she could control which color of candy would come out.
Hmm.
You never really knew what kind of power she has, but I'm pretty sure that's what she could predict. She could control what comes out of the box.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm going
Because
to
when she wanted something to happen, and she said, "Okay, let's check the color," that color came out. But when Uehara said, I want to see the children," and she said, "Okay, if the color is yellow, then you can come," and the brown one came out.
Yeah.
It was the only time when not the color that she wanted came out.
I think it's gonna. I'm just gonna assume that she has the theory to control results.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It might be,
because but if I get into detail about this, if you guys read X-Men, there is a mutant who actually can control results in a short future, so she can make the impossible happen. So, like, for example, I want brown Smarties and it will drop. So when she gambles, don't gamble with her. You will lose. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the whole Esper abilities kinda are like X-Men.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
Toma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there is this one mutant in X-Men 3 that can remove all other mutations.
Yeah.
Oh, right,
That's
yeah.
basically-
Yeah.
That's basically Toma's power.
Yes. The great equalizer.
I mean, Esper powers mutations, it's kind of the same. It's something a certain type of people develop or are born with. So
Mm-hmm.
the mutation is always something you're born with, or that happens during your process of growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Genetics and stuff.
Yeah.
That's
I
good.
guess that would be the science side, though, since the magic side doesn't. They rely on spells and stuff, so
Yeah.
it's a fusion of that.
Yeah. I'm looking at that board and I see Misaka worst level 4. What is she? Psychotic Misaka? Or what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of.
to be shown.
Okay.
It's a different Imoto clone model.
Okay. I thought that she was like,
The
clone
love.
that was yeah. I was assuming that was the clone that was cloned after Misaka was dumped by Toma. And yeah, turns psycho.
It's a clone that was made to
But
make the fights with Accelerator harder
but her face is like
for him.
the love child of Misaka and Accelerator.
Yeah.
Evil.
Oh,
Misaka. I don't know.
Yeah, I would call that Accelerator Imoto. Accelerator Imoto.
Accelerator.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Electric accelerator, wouldn't it be a conductor?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Nah,
Not
Nah.
really. No.
not really.
What's the word again? Coil.
Coil. Oh, okay.
Yeah, a coil.
Okay.
Tesla coil.
A coil is an electric accelerator. So it makes sense.
Misaka Wars is Tesla coil. Alright everybody, thank you very much for listening. I'm sorry that this show ended kinda abruptly. I don't know why, but the last 10 minutes of the show were cut off or silenced. There was no voice recording at all. But that's okay, I guess, because we were running out of stuff to talk about Index and Railgun anyways. But I hope you enjoyed the show, and thank you very much for listening. Once again, this was Anime Shuffle Podcast Episode 5. As usual, you can find all the show notes and information at our Tumblr blog at animeshovel.tumblr.com. Why don't you follow us on Twitter at animeshovel and give us a short tweet, or if you want to give us a longer message, email us at animeshovel@live.com. You can also follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/animeshovel, and subscribe there for the video version. We're also on several podcast websites, Podomatic, animeshovel.podomatic.com, or on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/animeshovel. Once again, thank you very much for listening and tuning in to the Anime Shuffle Podcast Episode 5. My name was Alex, and I'll see you guys next time.
What if we were entering into a new time? A time when the very systems of control and commerce that we had believed to be the status quo were somehow no longer relevant? What if we were faced with a new medium?